Bruce Buffer to announce the meetings now.
Live here.
We are Lord, that's March 10th, 2026.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the public meeting for the municipality of Spaniards Bay. It's Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. I'll now call our meeting to order. And number one on the agenda is a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make that motion to adopt the agenda for March 10th, 2026.
Second. Motion by Councillor Lundgren, second by Councillor Singleton to adopt the agenda. All in favor of the motion? Aye. All in favor? And I will announce for the record that Councillor Shepherd is not in attendance this evening. We'll move on to number two, petitioning or visiting groups. And tonight, joining us, we have representatives from the Spaniards Bay Fire Department. I do believe they're here tonight to present their financial statements to council. So for council's reference, you'll find that page 2 to 5. And this is their receipts and disbursements for under bank balance and reconciliation. Everything outlining last year, I'll move it to. Now I know council has just received this. So I don't know how much review everybody's had the opportunity to look through it. Is there any questions anyone has at this time while our chief is here? Any clarification on any needed on any of the disbursements or receipts or something there?
Your worship, in my opinion, we didn't have this long enough to give it a good review. So I think we should defer this until the next meeting so we can get a further review and some questions answered if we need to get them answered.
Okay, are you putting that in a form of a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we defer this until the next meeting for further review.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion by Deputy Mayor and second by Councillor Smith that we defer this to the finance and give them an opportunity to go through it, and as well as the rest of the council. And if we have any questions and concerns in the meantime, we can reach out to the fire department for clarification.
Absolutely.
And then we'll be ready to go to the next meeting. Any more questions or comments? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you, sirs. Do you have any questions for us before we move on about anything you'd like to explain or anything you'd like to say?
No, the only thing is, you see that number here at our opening balance this year, $44,776. Since January came in, we've paid approximately $18,000 in bills.
16.
Yeah, and we are about now to place an order for a new AED and 30 new helmets, which is going to cost us
$26.50 off top of the head.
so that money.
21.5 for the helmets, just the helmets alone.
Yeah.
And AED is just under 5.
It looks like a lot, but we're
Yes.
putting the money to all equipment in the fire.
Absolutely. Perfect, all right. That's perfect. There's no more comments, questions?
Just, I got you.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
said with AED, less than 5,000, right? Did you
We got a
contact,
price for around 46, 47,
Okay,
and
did
I'm not
you-
sure if that's taxes included.
Yes.
no, did you guys contact like Red Cross or anywhere like that to see if you get one donated?
They don't donate, so the one we got now, it's the same as St. John's Regional and all them use. It's
Okay,
a new AED, and
okay,
it's built for rescuers.
Okay.
So there's a lot more detail on it. I've actually got a draft on it. The pads, the same pads the ambulance uses. So it's a high-tech machine. And it also comes with a training unit, which nobody else offers, right? So we'll get a training unit to go with this unit and, ready to practice on that or practices.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next item. Number 3. We have a couple of sets of minutes there. Minutes of the meeting on February 10th. We'll take them individually.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for meeting February 10th, 2026.
There's been motion by Councillor Singleton, second by Councillor Lonergan, to accept the minutes of the meeting for February 10th, 2026. Any questions or concerns there? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. The motion is passed. We have another second set of minutes from the special meeting on February 25th. I need a motion to pass those.
I'll put down one motion to accept the minutes for the special meeting on February 25th, 2026.
I will second that motion.
Motion by Councillor Lonergan, second by Councillor Smith. To accept the special meeting minutes of February 25th, 2026. Any concerns? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Deputy Mayor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. And a third set of minutes for a meeting on March 4th, 2026, pages 6 to 19.
I'll put down a formal motion to adopt those minutes for the meeting of March 4th, 2026.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Councillor Lonergan, second by Councillor Singleton. Is there any questions or concerns on that sort of minutes? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. And motion is carried. Any errors or omissions? In any of those? I think there's a little typo on page 12. Under a statement that I have made. The last sentence there, it says, I feel maybe council should, and it should be consider paving this area. The word consider is obsolete there, it's missing something. Anybody else?
The pronouns that you worked on.
That is down under the second paragraph. It starts off Mayor Oliver stated, and it's the last line in that one. I feel maybe council should something,
Should paving this area of road. Is that the one?
yes,
Yeah.
should consider paving this area. It just doesn't get clear. Anything else? Anybody else see any errors or omissions? No? Okay. Do we have any business arising from minutes?
Did the Special Olympics move their equipment downstairs? What room did they use?
We use the room that's immediately behind the fire department storage room.
Was the other group contacted? Was it just
I
Tried to contact, no response, left a message, haven't heard back. And to be honest with you, it slipped my mind from that moment to this one,
All right.
so.
Any more questions on minutes? Now we'll move on to the town manager's report. Sir,
Thank you, your worship. I decided not to bore you guys this evening, so my report is very short. I just want to give an update on the leaks that we have outstanding. We have a leak at Back Cove Road South. That will be the second one. One was repaired the other day. We have one at Conception Bay Highway. That's in near the EFI Coatings building on the opposite side of the road. We have one at New Harbor Road. We know there's a leak in there, but we haven't located it yet. In addition, we have two property areas where we require sewer line repair. One of those is at Churchill and another one of those is at New Harbor Road. And I'll just make this statement. Incidents like breakdown at the town's reducing station at the bottom of Brazos Hill will almost certainly result in water line leaks throughout the town. And we did have such a breakdown within the last couple of weeks. Attached to my report, I have an application from Triple V Enterprises to construct a new garage on their property at 855 Conception Bay Highway along the Tilton Barrens. And this application was just received today. The proposed building meets the town plan requirements for minimum standards for side yard and rear yard depths. Although I do appreciate the fact that the planning committee has not had the opportunity to review this application. Therefore, I ask that the item be referred to the planning committee for its review and recommendation back to council.
I'd like to put that in the form of a motion to defer the application for Triple V Enterprises until planning has time to meet to discuss this.
I'll second the motion.
It's motion by Councillor Newman, second by Councillor Singleton, that this application be deferred to planning because of its lateness receiving it. Any questions or concerns? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. And motion's carried.
The transmission repairs are now completed on the F-550 and the vehicle is back in our town. We do have brake work scheduled, which will take place tomorrow. And then that one is good to go. Aside from that, snow clearing equipment is in good order. It's nice to see the snow disappearing, but I caution you that snow season is far from over. So there ends my report, Your Worship.
Thank you, sir. I just have one question. That transmission repair that was done on the F-550, was that
Yes,
covered under warranty?
it was.
Marvelous. Thank you, sir. We'll move on to committee reports. And the first one is the Finance Committee. And we have accounts payable list on pages 20 to 34 in the amount of $73,132.66.
I'd like to make a motion to pay our accounts payable for the amount of $73,132.66. I'll second that motion.
It's been motioned by the Deputy Mayor Shepherd and second by Councillor Smith to pay accounts payable in the amount of 73,132.66. Anybody with any questions there? All in favor of the motion? Aye. The motion is carried.
Also, our cash position is shown on page 35 for anybody's review. Our quick stats accounts receivable is on pages 36 to 41 for review. And our income expense statement, pages 42 to 46, is also included there for review. Our check register, pages 47 to 49, is also there for review. And I'd like to put a motion forward to pass our union agreement, which is on page 50 to 51 at this time.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion forward to accept the union agreement on page 50-51 by Deputy Mayor Shepherd, and it's seconded by Councillor Longigan. And the floor is open for any debate if needed. Just to give a little background, it's we've been in talks to get a collective agreement, and we think we've both sides have reached an agreement. Any comments? No questions? It's pretty straightforward there. All in favor of the motion? Aye. The motion is carried.
Also, we had a request from a resident owning vacant property in Muddy Hole to have a tax reduction. The council has decided at this time there will be no deduction in taxes for vacant land. I'd like to put a motion forward stating that there will be no reduction in taxes for vacant land held in the town at this time.
I'll second that motion.
It's been motioned by Deputy Mayor Shepherd, second by Councillor Singleton, that there be no changes in this request submitted by the landowner. The Muddy Hole is the questions. Debate. I'll ask the question. All in favor of the motion? Aye. The motion is carried. And we'll move on to the planning committee. We'll start with A, development planning change.
I'd like to make an amendment to the development planning. Amendment to infill use zone to include apartments under the regulations for residential infill use zone medium density.
I'll second your motion.
Okay, motion by Councillor Newman, second by Councillor Singleton, that we make a change in the development plan. Can you reread that motion, please? I cannot remember your wording.
Motion to amendment to infill use zone to include apartments under the regulations for residential infill use zone medium density.
Right, we're changing that.
We're changing that, yes.
Yeah, Your Worship, can I speak to that?
Sure can.
I asked that the chair of the planning committee consider defining the area that we have for rezoning. And I would suggest strongly that the area would be along Conception and Bay Highway between the intersection at Backtrack. up to and including the proposed development on the northern side of Young's Lane. And the reason why I say that, and the size is as large as what it is that the, most of that area should have been reclassified
But
a number of years ago and was overlooked.
So what we're going in there and make an amendment, we'll fix it all.
Okay.
Sounds good. Anybody, any questions or concerns? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. B, seniors apartments at 776, 796 Conception Bay Highway, pages 53 to 55.
Seniors Apartment 776 to 796 Conception Bay Highway. Your worship, I'd like to make a motion to conditional approval pending a written agreement on the development plan to the changes agreed on. Widening Young's Road, peaks on buildings facing the road, and greenery, trees, and shrubs in front of apartments.
And rezoning,
And rezoning.
or amending the zone, I should say.
I'll second that motion.
It's been motioned by Councillor Nguyen, second by Councillor Lonergan. As they had stated, there's some, it's a conditional approval pending that the development plan
Development plan,
is
yeah.
satisfactory and meets all the requirements that council has put forward. And there may be some more, once we get the final plans, it'll be under the approval of that, once we're in agreement with that.
So Mayor, this conditional approval, just so everyone's aware, this conditional approval does not give the contractor any ability to break ground by any means. This is just saying that it's still on the table and we're proceeding forward until the architectural and design drawings are submitted to the town. And once the planning and development is reviewed, then we'll move forward. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct, just the next step.
And I would point out that the first part of that would be the rezoning or the amendment of the current zone from residential infill to residential medium density, which was what the previous motion was for.
Yes, okay,
So subject to all, including that.
yes.
So this rezoning, Tony, how long did that usually take to
Councillor,
get done?
yeah, you're asking me to speak to the ability or the workflow of the Department of our Urban and Rural
And I know the
Planning.
answer to that question, but I just want to put it out there that it's not going to be overnight.
It won't be an overnight
No.
thing.
No.
We've been told that it should be done within several months, and I would guess that by several, it's upwards of 6.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say for sure because I can't speak for the department. All I know is that any work that the town is required to do as part of this process, we do rather quickly because we know what it is we're trying to do. We submit it to our planner. They put it all together and present it to Municipal Affairs, Department of Urban and Rural Planning. And then we are at their mercy.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much for that clarification.
You're welcome.
More questions or concerns? All in favor of the motion? Aye. And motion is carried. Move on to C, Northern Pines Development, page 56 to 60.
Northern Pines Development. Your worship, I'd like to put in a form of a motion to defer this application until we meet with the developer to discuss some issues regarding the property.
Second that motion.
Okay, the motion by Councillor Newman, second by Councillor Singleton, that would defer this application until the meeting is set with the developer to discuss some ongoing issues. Questions? Comments? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Deputy Mayor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll move on to Public Works Committee. And the first one's A, water supply to residents on well services.
It has been decided in a council meeting that, by the councillors, that we will not be doing any water supply to the residents on well services this upcoming season. The reason being that we have many wells that go dry all over town, and the cost would be astronomical. So I'd like to make a motion that we will not be doing any water supply to residents on well services this upcoming season.
Okay, it's been motioned by the Deputy Mayor
I'll second that, Your Worship.
and second by Councillor Singleton, that moving forward, that council will not be putting down such things like water supply lines. We did have an issue last year with some residents of Tilton, and that was on a trial basis. They were all aware of that. It was an extremely dry, exceptional year. We're hoping not to have that issue this year. But we did have a lot of wells gone dry. We did help at that time. That was the first letters and meeting that we had. And then since then, we've had multiple all over town. We've had them down on the shore, North Cove Pond, Browns Road. A lot of people, their wells, and a lot of these are hand dug wells, gone dry. It's very unfortunate, but it's just impossible for the town to run everybody their own line. As you know, when everybody applies for an application in an area that's not serviced, it's clearly stated on the application that they must be responsible for their own water and sewer. So council did have a discussion and thought that we'd get this out early to prepare all the residents that if we are in this situation this year, this will give them ample time to adjust what they have to do to have secondary water source if they find themselves in that position this year going forward. Any more comments? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried.
Excuse me, Your Worship.
Yep.
I meant to make an amendment to the agenda to put in BD, and I forgot. For policy for snow clearing.
Okay.
Can we go back and do that one?
I'll ask the recommendation of the town manager. Should we add it in now, sir, or do you think address it in other business? Doesn't
Well,
matter.
I mean, if council agrees to
Yes.
table the item, I don't see why not.
Okay. Is council agreement of making an amendment? It's concerning the snow clearing policy, am I correct?
Yes, it is, yes.
Will council like to hear the amendment?
Yes.
Okay.
I apologize. I completely
No
forgot to
worries.
put it in there until I see my notes.
No worries.
Your Worship, I'd like to make a motion to make an amendment to snow clearing policy. If council determines that the town's equipment or operators negligibly damaged private property such as fences or garbage boxes, the town will repair or replace the item with one of comparable value.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Okay, I have a motion put forward by Councillor Norwood, second by Councillor Singleton. To make an amendment to the snow clearing policy in regards to how damaged fencing and we deal with damaged fencing and garbage box
Garbage boxes,
replacement and things of such nature. And correct me if I'm reading that wrong, but we will
Repair or replace.
replace. Correct. And with something of comparable.
Comparable value, yes, yeah.
Okay, and that's only in a situation that the town has accepted responsibility for the damages that were done.
Yes,
And that's on an individual basis, right?
individual basis,
And
yes.
is there, are we gonna put a dollar value on, like, as far as you're
No.
gonna pay, like, if it's gonna be 200, 150? Are you gonna put a dollar value in there?
Well, usually we just replace, but
But if people does their own, like, are you gonna
Yes,
give them
that's
money
right.
towards, so you got to have a policy of how much money you're gonna give them. Someone might build a garbage box of 500, someone might build a garbage box of 200.
Well,
So what
But
are we
the
gonna do
policy
with that?
going forward, what you're saying is that we don't want people to replace their own. We are going to repair them or replace them ourselves with
yes,
something of value of what they've had there.
yes,
Because said person could have a $100 garbage box or a $200 garbage box, and somebody who's got a garbage box that's $400 or made of stone, well, certainly it's not fair to give them a $150 garbage box if they've had something there that's $400. So if we offer to make a comparison of what we're replacing, and like I said, it's still an individual case, so council will still have to approve when it will, whatever comes forward.
i.e. comparable value.
Yes.
yes.
That's what I was like trying to get at, like it's saying, like some might be able to say for like 400, some might be able for
That's right.
150, so it depends. You can't give someone $150 if they build a $400 garbage box.
That's right, that's why we replace it
Yeah.
instead of reimbursing like the amount.
but how are we gonna determine
Oh, that's what I was just
what
gonna ask.
these garbage boxes worth?
So if you got a concrete garbage box that is beat up by the plow, are you gonna spend $1,000 and replace it with a $1,000 garbage box?
Well, the first thing that the town has to do is
It's going in
decide
excess,
whether or
that's
not
right.
it's liable.
That's right, yes.
All right, which chances are the Public Works Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, that same committee should be tasked with the opportunity or with the work of deciding what comparable value is.
Any more questions?
No.
I think so. All right, all in favor of the motion? Aye.
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 The motion is carried. And we'll move on to fire department. Our liaison is not here tonight, so we'll, amongst the rest of us, we'll get through it. The first one is the disbursement of funds and accounts payable on page 61. And here we have a letter submitted from our fire chief. And he is requesting some things to be changed more on a forward basis, payment of training and equipment. I think there's some confusion of they get some bills, the town gets some bills, one don't know what the other's paying sometimes. So I think they're looking for, once they pass in their yearly financial report and it's accepted and everything, they're looking for a release of funds, so much funds. Is this something that finance should discuss further?
Go to it.
Nope, I was gonna say, yeah, I think, should be reviewed with finance, go through it all. Look at the, accounts payable from last year and whatnot, and, just make a decision on it. I think it's a great idea. Like I said, if there's confusion on paying bills, if you're coming here, if you're going down to the fire department, it's a quick and easy way to get that, solved. But, yeah, that's it. Sure.
We're putting a motion forward to defer the finance.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Been motioned by Councillor Smith, second by Deputy Mayor to defer to finance. For some discussion. Any more comments, questions? All in favor of the motion? Aye. The motion is carried. We'll move on to signing officers on page 62.
Your worship, I need that motion exactly as it is worded in that letter.
Okay. I will need a motion. Somebody got, like, put a motion forward? I just need that read.
Do you want to read that?
Yep,
Do
read
you
it.
want me to read it or? do you
No, I can
want me
read
to- Okay,
At a regular council meeting, meeting of council held March the 10th, 2026, it was moved, second, and duly passed by those present to accept the recommendation of the Spaniards Bay Fire Volunteer Fire Department that Fire Chief Kurt Roberts, Assistant Chief Randy Davis, Treasurer Charlie Janes, and Director of Public Works Vanessa Higgins be appointed signing officers for the Spaniards Bay Volunteer Fire Department account. Two of these individuals named above shall be required to sign each check written on the account. Further to the above, please remove Jason Dyke as a signing officer on this account. Please contact the undersigned if you require any additional information of the matter. Yours truly, Town of Spaniards Bay.
Do I
And
have
I'll
a second?
second that motion.
It's been motion by Councillor Longigan, second by Councillor Newman. To accept the signing officers as it was just read out. And to remove one of the older signing officers. Any questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 The motion is carried. And we have one more thing under the fire department, which is wildlife prevention and mitigation on page 6365. This is something that just came into our hands, and I'm not even sure if the fire chief and the fire department was informed of this yet or not. Our liaison's not here, but there is some funding available that the government's putting out. And we've been approached by Track Consulting, who does this sort of funding and everything. They're willing to offer their services to apply for this on behalf of our town and our fire department. This funding is 100%, so it costs us nothing. And if the application is successful, they would proceed in the follow-through that's needed on this. The amount is $38,807 plus HST. I'm assuming everybody had a chance to read down a little bit, get familiar with that. Any thoughts?
Is it already applied for?
Well, we have to, they're ready to move on.
Because the deadline is today.
They are ready.
with all due respect, your worship, they approached us. The deadline for the application was today, so we gave the go-ahead. So we need the motion to accept
All right, I got
Yes.
it.
what was offered to us, right?
It was free, how can you say no?
For this company to make the application on our behalf, and if successful, that they would carry out the work. Please.
Please, it's free money.
Okay. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion that fire, was Justin, Apply.
Consulting.
contract consulting, apply for this Fire Smart grant.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by councillor Newman, second by councillor Singleton, to accept the offer for consulting to proceed with the application. And if successful, they will carry out the work. And it's in the amount of $38,870 plus HST, which is 100% funded by the Newfoundland government. Any questions?
He even offered to be the Fire Smart ambassador.
He did.
Until someone in town does the training, so like, how can you turn that down? So it must be a good program.
No questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
And motion is carried. And then we'll move on to number 7, National Building Code and National Fire Safety Code on page 66. And we will need a motion that is stated.
I'd like to put that in the form of a motion, Your Worship. To adopt the National Building Code and National Fire Safety Code of 2025 effective July 12th, 2026. And we'll include the secondly permit letters to bear the following conditions subject to the town's regulations. The National Building Code 2025, National Fire Safety Code 2025. It is the responsibility of that, will I say that too, to ensure compliance with these codes and regulations, as council will not be undertaking inspections.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
It's been motion by councillor Singleton, second by councillor Longigan, to adopt the National Building Code and National Fire Safety Code of 2025, effective July 12th, 2026. Any questions or concerns? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. And motion is carried. On to number 8, the garbage tender, page 67 to 72.
You want me to speak to that, Your Worship?
You sure can, sir.
All right, the previous meeting in council, we decided to go tender for the collection of domestic and residential garbage, domestic garbage and residential bulk garbage, from the period of May 1st, 2026, through to April 30th, 2029, as our current garbage contract expires at the end of April. And we're doing this time, as we have numerous times in the past, doing joint tender with the town of Round Cove. We did have 2 bids received just prior to the close of bids on Friday past. One of the bidders came in and withdrew their bid, which left us with 1 bid and 1 bid only from Lynch's Trucking Enterprises Limited. The bid has been reviewed and it is in accordance with the specification we put forward. So for the town of Spaniards Bay, we are looking at 1,150 households, and they are at $225 per household. So our annual garbage collection fee under the new contract will be $258,750 per year. I need a motion to accept and award that tender from Lynch's Trucking Enterprises Limited.
I'll make a motion to accept and award that tender to Lynch's Trucking Enterprises for 400, I don't see the,
436,000.
36,500.
Of which our share will be
$258,000.
$258,750.
Thank you.
If you don't want me adding.
No, no, perfect. I didn't see it there on the paper there. Thank you.
I'd like to say that as well, Your Worship.
Okay, it's been motioned by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Singleton, that we accept the bid from Lynch's Trucking Enterprises for our share contract, which is $258,750. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And motion is carried. Next item is CCBF project completion on page 73 to 75.
Your Worship, I draw your attention to page 74 of the agenda. I have two motions listed, and those are the motions that I require.
Thank you, sir.
Your Worship, I make a motion to resolve that the Town of Spanish Bay close CCBF project number 234-2021-7362, road upgrades 2021, with a remaining balance of $2,173 for use on future projects.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Deputy Mayor Shepherd and second by Councillor Singleton that the Town of Spanish Bay close the CCBF project of 234-2021-7362, road upgrades 2021, with the remaining balance to be used on future projects. And this is, just for reference, this is leftover money that wasn't used in that project, so they just want to clear that when we Any questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
And motion is carried.
I would also like to make a motion to resolve that the Town of Spanish Bay close CCBF project number 234-2021-7464, road upgrades, Gerald Smith's Lane, Singleton's Lane, Lizzie Goss's Lane, Perry'sville Extension, with a remaining balance of $138 for use on future projects.
I'll second that one as well, Your Worship.
Been motioned by Deputy Mayor Shepherd and seconded by Councillor Singleton that the Town of Spanish Bay close the CCBF project at 234-2021-7464, road upgrades, and the balance of $138 be forwarded to future projects. Any questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye, the motion is carried. We'll move on to 10, letters. And the first one is residents in opposition of ballroom rental decision on page 76, 77. We've received a couple of letters in regards to the last meeting. Council had turned down a request for the grade 9 graduation to be held in June. They would like to have it downstairs. And at the last meeting, we had some information that was shared that we do not have a capacity number downstairs. So council at the time did not feel that it would be safe to have an outside function of our children downstairs when it was not fire code. Any comments?
They also mentioned there the haunted house and the various things that was had downstairs. They're all council activities. The haunted house never has any more, probably than 50 or 60 people inside. Most of the people that's for the haunted house is usually out in the lineup. And we do have access to all the building if anything should happen. We have 2 fire exits and access to the rest of the building. There's always adults there, and like I'm always there too. So I think that was the biggest thing. And like even though like it's a lovely place downstairs to have like a rental, I think that at this time I think we should still stand at our decision that at this time that. Now maybe in the future, you never know, but right now I'm still in agreement. We're doing not to have it downstairs.
When it comes to fire regulations, safety insurance, utmost in the forefront, right? So at the end of the day, when, like I said, the fire marshal says we're not at that standard, well, we're not at that standard. And I, for one, with kids of my own, I wouldn't put my kids into an area. My kids were going to the same kind of event planning.
It's certainly something I think council can work on.
Right.
If I remember correctly, the fire chief did pay a visit down there and did go through a list of some of the items that needed. So there's nothing stopping us from, tackling that and seeing where it's moving forward. But right now, as it stands, we do not have a capacity number, and it wouldn't be safe to do so. So will we accept these letters and?
Yeah, we can accept these orders.
Yep. Okay. We'll acknowledge the receipt of these letters and unless there's a motion, everything will remain the same. Any more questions, concerns? Okay, thank you.
Your worship, just to clarify, we will look into this in the future.
Yes, absolutely, there's, we do have a nice road down there and,
Maybe it's worth looking into bringing it up to standard so that we could have some kind of events down there in the future, right?
Okay, we'll move on to 10B, resident of Rocky Pond Road, water shutoff, tax adjustment on page 78. We have received a letter. I think this is straightforward. Town manager, I don't think we need a motion of such. I think this is just a notification of the resident who does not use the water and wants it shut off and wants the taxes to indicate.
Your worship, the way the act is written is that if an area is serviced or capable of being serviced, that the water and sewer charge apply. The fact that somebody remains on a private well is not an item that's addressed in the act. And therefore, my recommendation to council is that we abide by the existing Towns and Local Service District Act on our policy regarding water and sewer.
So if this person is, they still pay
They'll still be charged
Charged
taxes for the
property
property as if it was, if they were tied into the system.
okay,
Right, if they were in a situation where it became cumbersome or if they required a significant investment to reach a water and sewer line, well, then we'd give it a different basis for consideration. But in this case, water and sewer goes by the front of the property line.
All right, so we just accept the letter and,
And we do need a motion on this one, Your Worship.
all right,
And my recommendation would be that we cannot accept the request as it will create a precedent over which the town would have no future control.
thank you, sir. Do I have a motion?
Your worship, so moved. I'm not going to repeat what you just said.
Second, Your Worship.
Motion by Councillor Longley, second by Councillor Singleton, that we will deny this request because it will set a precedence. Any questions, concerns?
Just one, he may just want his water shut off anyhow, so we can still entertain shutting off his water. Just not giving him credit.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, okay. All in favor of the motion?
I will second the motion.
The Councillor Singleton. And the motion is carried. Ten C, Resident Ridge Road adjustment as on their own septic system, age 79. We have a request here from a resident who is actually paying, because they have a home and a business on the same location, they pay double sewer and double water. This resident is requesting they're on their own sewer system and is wondering how they're paying double the amount for that property. Questions or concerns?
Yeah, I do have a concern there. So are we reading, am I reading this right as in saying this resident there is being charged double because they got a business inside of their home?
A business,
That's correct.
yes,
Inside the same residence?
yes.
And this is part of the municipality act as well?
Well, it is not only the act, it's also part of town policy. Right, under normal circumstances, I would give you the same line as I gave you on the previous
The
request.
previous one.
But I do think that there's one slight change here, and because of that, my recommendation would be that the finance committee should review it.
I was just gonna say, I'd like to put in motion, your worship, to refer to the finance committee, to have like a look at this and kind of dig into a bit further,
And
because I think it's more to the situation than I
the
actually.
difference, in my opinion, is the fact that we're looking at more than a single unit in this case.
Right.
If there was one unit, I'd recommend the same thing that I just recommended.
Do I have a seconder for motion?
Second, that's one.
It's been motion by Councillor Longley, second by Councillor Singleton, that we defer to finance. We'll look into this one. Might be some special circumstances there. Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And motion is carried. We'll move on to resident of Mercer's Lane, garbage box damage on page 80 to 82.
I'd like to put in the form of a motion to replace the damaged garbage box at 7 Mercer's Lane.
Motion by Councillor Newman
Second, that one.
and second by Councillor Singleton, that council replace the garbage box on Mercer's Lane. Was there a site visit?
I went up and had a look at that one, and you could hardly see his garbage box. When the flag came up, they just totally demolished it and it was up close. They had to put it up on his lawn
Okay, yeah.
and it was all gone on a squish there, so it needs to be replaced.
Unfortunately, that happens. Sometimes when we do
Yes.
push back, the snow gotta go somewhere, and
And as to,
sometimes when they're covered, we don't see them.
no, you couldn't see that one. You could just see the top of his box actually.
So
when
we are
the-
negligent if that garbage box is on their private property and not on town property, and it is damaged during snow clearing. Any more questions or concerns? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. The motion is carried. Resident of Seymour's Road, garbage box reimbursement, page 83 to 86. This is also a letter submitted. A garbage box was damaged and it was at the time during pushback, and it was deemed that that garbage box was indeed on private property and it is negligent on the town's behalf. This one's a little bit different because the resident has taken it upon themselves to build their own garbage box and submit the bills. And we have copies of bills here. I will need a motion of sorts.
I make a motion to pay the bills to replace the garbage box. I know it's a little bit more money than what we normally do, but according to our new snow clearing policy, we'll be doing that on an individual basis from now on, so we got no choice but to pay this for this garbage box, and in the future, we'll do the assessments like we discussed on the snow clearing policy.
It's been motioned by Deputy Mayor that we pay said bills that have been submitted for this particular garbage box.
I'll second that motion as well. And also, Deputy, like I said, once, as reviewing the bills there that was submitted, like I said, this will be on a case-by-case basis going forward. As you look at the bills and the quantities and whatnot, there's nothing there in excess. We got 1 pound of this, 1 pound of that for screws, nails, and supplies and whatnot to erect this garbage box. So that's why I support that motion.
Second by Councilor Smith, that we reimburse the full amount of the receipts submitted by this resident. Any more questions or comments? I think this new policy amendment that we just made would held it to a different standard that we don't want, if we damage a garbage box and you're expecting compensation for that, if the town is found negligent in that case, we will not be accepting receipts on a moving forward basis. We will replace and something of equal value. And we usually do that by, sometimes we have a maintenance man who in the summertime, when we have seed projects and stuff, and we can easily build and have a couple of garbage boxes on hand. But, as I said, move forward, it's still on an individual basis, but we do not want residents to take it upon themselves and fix something without the approval of going to the town first.
That's right, and a new amendment will state that as well.
Any more questions or concerns? All in favor of the motion?
All right,
The motion's carried. Resident of Big Pine Road, road conditions and water and sewer lines, page 87. This is a resident who submitted a letter to council in concerns of the road deteriorating in the location of Big Pine Road, which is certainly, the town is certainly aware of. And we know this time of year, of course, we don't have access to pavement, regular pavement. It's only a bit of coal patch mixture, which don't last very long when the plow hooks it again. We also have a concern raised here about wondering how far along we are in our plans of putting water and sewer in around Big Pine Road. And each year we've been moving slowly because we've had some major issues with bedrock in there and access and equipment to break it up and whatnot. We've done test holes, and I think now is the time to jump on that. I think possibly if we had a motion to start the engineering aspect, because that's where we're to right now. We need to put a tender out for our engineering to see how the best approach is on the information that we've gathered. Of course, government will do their own assessments, but to move anything forward, we have to see where we're going, if it's possible.
Well, Your Worship, I'd like to put that in a form of a motion, that we put out a tender for an engineering to start the project of water and sewer on Big Pine Road.
Okay. We have a motion before by Councillor Singleton. Do I have a seconder?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Councillor Smith, that we start the process of engineering tender. And of course, with the understanding moving forward, this will have to be a staged progress. It is a large project, and depending on, of course, what engineers come back and tell us what's in the ground, then we can move forward on a more educated guess of how long or how many stages we're going to need,
Or how much can cost?
or how, most definitely.
And also, Your Worship, in this engineering report, I'd like to put in for this request, once it goes out for tender, not only in the geotechnical report for the depths of the bedrock, but also the MPA that's going to be the bedrock is comprised of. The contractor will be looking probably to, it makes a difference if the bedrock is going to be at 80 MPA or 100 MPA and whatnot when they bring in their equipment and whatnot and see what they're up against. So you'll get better pricing as well with this one extra item. So I'd like to put that in tender as well.
Yeah, and also, Your Worship, we should put in there that depending on the cost and of the water and sewer and the phases that we're going to do, we're definitely going to have to do something with the road conditions apart from that too. We just can't wait in there. I mean, it's ridiculous in there now.
Yeah.
So we're going to probably, depending on the tender and the cost, we're going to have to look at fixing up the roads a bit, for sure.
Once we have an idea of how long of a project this is going to be versus 1 year to 3 years to 4 years, whatever, then we can decide, obviously we don't want to repave Big Pine Road and then we're going to tear it all up, if this is going to be a faster pace, but like I said, that's out of our hands until we get reports back from the engineers. But in the meantime, in spring, we certainly do, and we have been filling those potholes. And we'll certainly try our best to keep on top of that.
Mayor, will be writing this tender up once it goes out for engineering support, and then will the contract be administrated? Is it, do we go to an outside source to put this contract together once it goes out for tender, or are we doing this in-house for this work, say for Big Pond Road? So we got to put a tender out for engineering services to bid on this, to come in and do this work. Who's putting this was going to compile this tender.
So I guess depending on the scope and correct me if I'm wrong, town manager, we have put out tenders before ourselves, but depending on the scope, and we are in the midst of changing over now to a new CAO. So if in the position of discussions between the town manager, the old town manager and the new town manager, if it's something that needs to be scoped out, then we'll certainly do that as well.
Your worship, we don't have the resources to do it in-house, so that's the short answer to your comment.
Okay, thank you.
It's partly for that reason that we've gotten as little done to date as what we had. Because everything that we try with our own resources, we hit stumbling blocks to the point where it stopped us dead in our tracks.
Well, all I'm looking at there for is once it goes out to engineering and whatnot, for cost analysis wise and whatnot, to get the best product that we're going to be getting for Big Pond or anything that we do go in and assess with engineering. Are we going to go with 10-meter borehole spacings? Are we going to go 5, 8, 15s, whatever the case may be, to give the contractor a better idea on what bedrock is in the ground. So at the end, the project will move smoother, cleaner, and there'll be less headaches. And
Well, at this stage of the game, Councillor, what we have to put together is request an RFP for engineering services.
just plain,
Yeah.
okay,
That's it.
okay, excellent, good.
All right, once that happens, then whoever is successful, they can meet with council or a committee of council, depending on how they want. And then we can discuss exactly what items
Exactly.
we want to include or remove from this potential project. From there, they'll have to take it and cost it based on what was done, and then come up with a timeline. And then it'll be up to council to secure funding in whatever way it's gonna do it, carry it to work.
I know a lot of times, once it goes for IFT issue of tender to IFC to issue of contract, a lot of times if there's any scope missed in between those two submittals, that's where the extra charges comes in, and this is where
Unfortunately, yes.
we get caught, right? So we just want to make sure, once it goes there for IFT, that all the documents are complete, and we got a solid tender put out.
Oh, no, fair game.
So we will certainly acknowledge the letter that we put out, but I think they're just looking for, we can probably rate this resident, because they're looking for a status of World War II. So we'll have correspondence, the office right back and see if they're calling up the team for engineering. Council agree? Yes?
Yes. Your worship,
Would you like a
this
motion
was,
to that?
That sounds like a nice letter from one replacement to write. I'm sorry.
Yep. All right, we'll move on to residents of 315 Selection Bay Highway, depot fence replacement on page 88.
Yeah, Your Worship, I'd like to defer this to Public Works for the spring. This is actually our fence that needs to be fixed or replaced on there, so we can look after that in the spring.
second that one.
Motion by the Deputy Mayor Shepherd and second by Councillor Singleton that we defer to Public Works. This indeed is our fence that backs onto a residence down by the depot. And every so many years, gets knocked down with the wind and whatnot, or needs to be fixed or replaced. And
Madam, Your Worship,
yes,
can I speak, please?
yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you'll have to forgive me, I got no lips to have broke in there. We have seen wind come down that valley that have actually snapped good 4x4 posts. All right, it is our fence, And I know that we're speaking like we're gonna replace it, which is wonderful. I just ask that we take the word defer out because it gives the impression that we're gonna send it off to another committee. It is a town fence. It's something that we should repair, and I'd like for the
Yes.
motion to be able to just acknowledge, accept the request and
Request.
confirm that we will be doing, which I think is
And
what you meant.
Well, I'm gonna
Yes.
defer repairs,
Yes,
Yes,
not defer.
yes, okay.
okay.
It was discussed too, we'll look for more permanent solution for this fence, make sure the resident is happy, and Town Depot has privacy from the residents as well, right?
Yes.
I've seen the wind come down that valley, take a brand new roof off the fire hall.
We should come down to the valley, take all the bills.
You know, it wasn't, you get a nice wind in a particular direction, and there's nothing gonna stop it. So,
Okay, we'll acknowledge the letter, and we will certainly be getting to those needed repairs in the spring, if the snow melts, and we see what we have to do there.
give it a second.
I'll second
That was Councillor Singleton. All in favor of the motion?
that.
The motion carried.
We've also need 6x6 post cry on.
We'll move on to permits. Application for a new shed at 25 Jack Pine Drive, on pages 89 to 90.
application for a new shed at 25 Jack Pine Drive. I'd like to put that in form of a motion, Your Worship, to approve the new shed at 25 Jack Pine Drive conditionally until pegs are in the ground and the enforcement officer has a look and it meets all development rules and regulations.
I'll have a motion put forward to conditionally accept this application for a new shed on 25 Jack Pine Drive. Do I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Second by Councillor Lungigan. Any questions or concerns?
The enforcement officer was in to have a look, but there was still snow on the ground, so we couldn't see anything. So we'll wait until the snow's gone now. So when he's in again, we'll get him to go in and have another look and see. And if everything is good, then they'll be good to go.
Any more questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 And motion is carried. We'll move on to application for a new business, Bulkey's Road, page 9192.
Application for a new business, Volkey's Road. Your Worship, I'd like to put in form of a motion to approve new business address at Volkey's Road.
Do I have a seconder for the motion? Motion by Councillor Newman, second by Councillor Lungigan, that we approve the application for a new business on Bulkey's Road.
Okay, this is not a business as such at his residence. It's right at the top of Volkey's Road, and he will be parking his truck, flatbed, and mini excavator on his property. I had the enforcement officer go in and take a look. There is a lot of room up there for him to park his vehicles. Won't be obstructing, no traffic, nobody's on side of him. There's plenty of room up there, and the only thing, there is, seems to be a new shed being built up there, so we would need him to come out and get a permit for that.
Any questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Who was second?
Councillor Lungigan?
Councilor Lundigan.
And the motion is carried. We'll move on to 12, donations. We have received a request for a donation.
I'd like to put it in form of a motion to make the donation of $100 toward the War Memorial wreath.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councillor Singleton, second by the Deputy Mayor Shepherd, that we give a donation of $100 for a new wreath to lay at the War Memorial for the Royal Canadian Legion, who will be celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. Any questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. And motion is carried. We'll move on to other business. And last meeting, we started off on Hillside, I believe, Councillor Shepherd. We'll start with
He says that all the time, just lives there. I'd just like to let it know, that I'll be stepping down as chairperson of the Public Works Committee. I'll be staying on as a committee member from here on in, and as far as I know, it was decided that Terry Shepherd will be now the chairperson of the Public Works Committee.
Anything else?
Oh, that's it for me.
Councillor Singleton?
No, not at this time.
Councillor Newman?
Yes. Just want to let everybody know that the seniors will be having Patty's Day, March 17th. Doors open 2 o'clock. Games, cards, raffle, supper, and it's all free. It'd be nice for if you wanted to mingle with anybody and just spend the afternoon in your green. It'd be nice to attend the seniors building. And also, I'd like to take note of the Fireman's Ball. It's being held on April the 25th. It's at the Legion in Spaniards Bay. Hot roast beef suppers are being served. Kevin Russell will be playing. Tickets are $30 each, and you can contact Charlie James if you want to get a ticket. And I think everybody should come out and support our firemen for the wonderful job that they do for our town. And that's it for me.
Councillor Smith?
Just want to give a big hats off to the town workers today and over the past week here. We are into the freeze-thaw season right now. A lot of culverts are going to be overwhelmed. There's going to be a lot of water coming up on the roads, a lot of washouts and whatnot. So just asking the townspeople to be cognizant. If you do see any excessive water in your culverts in front of your home, feel free to give the council a call, and we'll sure we'll get our guys in there and taking care of that's where we can.
Sir? Councillor London?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. I know it's a bit early, it's only March, but can we look into getting our graduation signed on a little bit earlier this year? Because I know we had to have replacement, and last year I think we were a bit late. So I know it's only March, but it won't be long coming, and they'll be graduating, so we can get that done. And Tony Rhinesbrook, should that be on the safe and snow clearing list? Is that on the snow clearing list, Rhinesbrook?
No,
Can we get that put on the snow clearing list?
I would recommend no.
No? I knew you was gonna say that.
But hey,
That's the council decision.
yeah, if you want to put it on the agenda, get a recommendation from somebody else, but my personal recommendation to council, if my word means anything at all, I would not.
Okay, boy.
Oh, you can ask me after the meeting,
Okay, well,
I'll
that's
tell you
right.
what.
Okay,
My
that's fine.
recommendation in the meeting is no.
Okay,
Right, what you guys do is totally up to yourselves.
okay,
In my position as town manager, all right, I can advise council, I can comment, all right, but council is under absolutely no, what's the word?
obligation?
No obligation whatsoever to accept anything that I say.
Okay, well, on that note, I'm gonna thank you for your service and thank you for your years of service, and it was a pleasure working with you the past 8 years. And we're gonna miss your knowledge, and I'm sure we'll be calling you, or someone will be calling you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your worship, I'd just like to note that I won't be calling them.
Okay, I've got just a couple of words to say. First, I'll wish everybody a happy Easter, because our next meeting will be after the Easter break. Right, and I do have, before I adjourn, this meeting this evening, I'd like to say a few words to our retiring town manager. Mr. Tony Ryan has been the backbone of our municipality now for 25 years. And through decades of dedication, he has guided our community with steady hands, a clear vision, and a heart committed to service. From managing everyday challenges to leading us through pivotal projects, Tony has shaped our very character of our town. On behalf of council, staff, and all the residents, I thank you, sir, for your unwavering commitment. We wish you good health and every happiness in your well-earned retirement. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, for adjourn, the next meeting is April 14th. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll like President for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion by Councillor Lonergan
Second that
and second by Councillor Smith to adjourn. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. The motion carried. Have a good evening, everyone.